and welcome back to the analyst desk. Now, let's clear a few things up. First of all, yes, I am better than Golden Boy.
You cheated, man. I'm so sure you cheated.
How did you know that?
Well, first of all, right, I got the is love thing, and then I kind of replayed back what he said in the first one. I kind of got the Shrek, and then obviously Shrek is love, Shrek is life, right? And the second one, how was I not going to get when someone says my name back to me?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, but still,
he has been giving you a bunch of slack on your head. So
to be honest with you,
sense.
I think it was Golden Boy's glasses. I think you saw the reflection in the glasses.
No, I
on
didn't
the
think
display.
that. I don't look Golden Boy in the eyes. That's the way to madness.
Yeah, no, that's a good. I think that's why I've been doing.
So
wrong.
you are much better than Golden Boy.
Yeah, well, I mean that was a given before that competition. But okay, so guys joining me, of course they kind of need no introduction, but Strong Side and Wonder Boy.
The Wonder Side.
The Wonder Side.
It's you know good to have you back, but I'm telling you now.
That's much better.
Strong Side though.
No,
I'm
still Team Strong Side. I'm Team Final Boss.
That's more like
yeah. I'm Team Final Boss.
I'm kind of glad you went kind of Wonder Boy, much better than Strong Boy. Let's be honest here.
Hey,
glad you didn't go for
Strong
that.
Boy's good as well. That's all I'm saying. I think I'm a bit of a strong boy.
All right, before we get too far into this and deciding on your duo name, let's have a little look at the bracket and kind of how we've come to this. As you can see, Team Dignitas won against Potent Halo, and they've actually ended up going on to win against Rift as well. As you can see, Rift Gaming took down OneGaming Esports, and then OneGaming took down Potent. So now we've got Rift Gaming versus OneGaming going up to see who goes through and who will end up going home. So there's a lot to play for in this game. You go bracket or you end up going out of the tournament. Guys, let's get your first impression on how all this goes.
I think it's a similar situation in the game we just saw previous, right?
Yep.
I mean, Rift have already faced OneGaming and they've already 2-0'd them, so they will have that psychological advantage going into this one. I think we could see a similar kind of scenario. I think, again, with Rift, with the psychological advantage, and then they gave some half-decent games to Dignitas as well. Even though they said, you know, we want to be up there with the top 3 and we want to be standing toe-to-toe. So, you know, I can see Rift 2-0ing OneGaming here, but at the same time, we saw some flashes out of OneGaming. You know, they showed a bit of promise. So I think we could be seeing some good games here.
Okay, so you think it's going to be fairly close. You kind of touched on there that you think, you know, Rift could talking about going toe-to-toe with the big boys. Do you think that's true, or is that just a bit of bluster?
I think it was... It's interesting. Everyone wants to be up there with the top 3.
Yeah.
And everyone has to believe that they can. And I think it's more self-belief than anything. Whether that can actually happen, they would have to, you know, obviously beat OneGaming here and get out of the group and make it to tomorrow, which is obviously Championship Sunday. But they, you know, they also have to improve their game a lot, because we saw when they faced Dignitas, you know, you know, Dignitas made pretty short work of them in the end. I mean, I think the first game was close, but then the second game, the Rick Slayer game between Dignitas and Rift, it wasn't very pretty whatsoever.
It was a blowout.
It was a bit of a blowout. Can I just say, by the way, I miss having Golden Boy here because you're so much taller than me. Like, what is this? You didn't even fit in the camera shot. Is this? Come on, this isn't fair.
I'm standing on something.
Yeah, you've got a box. Get off the box, man. Come on.
We should definitely get you a box.
I need a box.
We should get you a box.
Can we get a box up to the analyst?
All right, let's talk about kind of keys to victories here then. Who do you kind of think is gonna kind of stand out for? And I think we can actually take a look at the rosters as well. For OneGaming, we've got One True Flash, Virus, Dark Messiah, and Stanza. For Rift, we've got Vexus, Ads, Sneaky Walrus, and Harper. So, guys, which names kind of leap out of the screen at you there and kind of take your fancy?
Vexus and ADZ impressed me when they were playing against Dignitas, even though they did kind of get manhandled. Individually, though, their skill, definitely really good. Team shot, definitely could be a lot better as a squad, but like Wonder Boy was saying, Rift did take down OneGaming. OneGaming is going to have to pull things together. The first match is Breakout, so... they can win this, go for camo. They're going to have to send a couple guys up to the camo ramp and maybe flank a guy and have a guy sit back with the DMR. And it's like we've always said, picking off that first kill. The camo is probably the most important thing on this map right now. So both teams are going to be fighting right at camo.
Yeah, I agree with that. Camouflage control is going to be absolutely key in this game. We saw Hollers, you know, in the last series, he managed to pull back a 3 versus 2. And actually win the round for his team. So camouflage on Gambol, definitely a key to victory. On the OneGaming side, I want to highlight Stanza and One True Flash. They were the two that really showed sparks, you know, some flashes of brilliance yesterday, certainly. So I'm looking for them on the OneGaming side, but you just look at the Rift side. across the board, it's just real strong individual talent. I'm looking at Ads and Sneaky Walrus and Harper. I mean, all of them. Vex Zeus, you know, I pretty much just said all of them. But,
They're all really good.
If I had to pick
one, the gist of here.
if I had to pick one who is a real star against Dignitas, I think it was Harper.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Harper from Rift, and Stanza, I think, from OneGaming.
All right, well, guys, it's kind of time to put your money where your mouth is. Let's hear the scoreline prediction. Strong side, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go Rift 2-0.
Okay.
I'm going to trust my body strong side because, you know, I'm team final boss.
You are really just want a friend, don't you?
Someone be my friend.
Remember, hashtag Halo
Sims?
WC.
Hey,
Where are you
Sims,
at, Sims?
where you at,
We
Sims?
need to play you in 2v2.
Come on, bro. Yeah,
I've got a new teammate.
I'm going
You're gone.
2-0.
You're gone, Sims.
2-0 Rift. Yeah, we're coming for you, Sims.
Hashtag Halo WC. If you want to be his friend or you just want to give us your prediction on this game, remember to use that on Twitter.
Please be my friend.
But let's hand over to the casters now. It's going to be Tun and Onset to take it away.
Thank you very much, Bryce. I'll be your friend, Wonderboy, man. I'm the only one that hasn't given him any hit. I like him. I'm gonna put out that I will be your friend.
You clearly haven't known him very long.
No, I think that's it, really, isn't it?
It's a brave thing to go in straight. I mean, you can see how desperate he is for a friend, so he might be one of those. He's a bit clingy.
Do you think?
Yeah, he might be sort of following around your curtails and sort of.
Like that weird girlfriend you had once.
Like when you come out your hotel room tomorrow morning, he'll be waiting at the door.
Just standing there smiling.
Just smile with your washing, and you've got no idea how he's done it or got hold of it.
And
that
my
sort of thing.
chimney at home will be all but dirty.
You said it.
Okay. I mean, we'll talk about the game instead for a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, I feel. I think both these teams, looking at the lineup, we've had the lineups of both. Sorry, we've had some standout players from a couple of other guys. I mean, for me, I think Sneaky Walrus has been very good. On the other side of things, One True Flash has been impressive as well. So we could see some flashy little players. Didn't mean to wordplay that. Both these teams, though, obviously this is the do or die moment for both of them. Whoever loses does go out the tournament.
Yeah, and the one player that I want to highlight a little bit here is Stanza. He's pulled up some really good plays this weekend. He's been out of the sort of the lower teams. There's a few players that I've been watching, but Stanza seems to be the standout one for me. Another bad pun there for you. But he's the standout player. He just seems to be... You can always tell with certain players if they're going to be able to reproduce against better teams when they do this, when they hit their shots under pressure. And it's when he's been down in battles, he's still hit those fives, and he's been really impressive. But for me, Rift should be looking to take home this series fairly comfortably. Harper's been really, really strong this event. Okay. As you say, Sneaky Walrus has been really good. Ads and Vexus have been pretty solid. So
yeah, I mean, looking at it, I think we both agree that Rift are the stronger team going into this one. So we'll see how they can break this down. But the first map is going to be Breakout Gamble, and I haven't seen this personally yet. Obviously, we were watching the stream there before. I haven't casted over it yet, but I really do like Breakout. I know it's a bit controversial between a lot of people because it's not typical Halo, is it?
It's not Halo, it's purist, is it?
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I think it's a very enjoyable game type. Bring something different, but it is going to be Breakout Gamble on first map, and Team Slayer Empire the second map. And if we get to it, Capture Flag on Fathom, which we haven't seen at all yet. I'm a big fan of that one, so I hope we get into that one. But Gamble Breakout is going to be the first map. We're going to get into this one, and let's see which team is going to walk away with this first map. Very important maps for both these teams. Whoever loses crashes out of the tournament and is going home. But you get a free Sunday. You can have a lie-in, I suppose. I mean, who cares about the $2 million on offer? But never mind.
I think they probably will more than anyone, to be totally honest.
Maybe a little bit. Oh, kisses coming from Wonderboy here as we move into the next game. I love you too, man.
Told you it was banging. I mean, you've only just announced it. He's already trying to sneak into the booth. I'm
sort of worried about it already. Anyway, Harbour picking up the DMR straight off the bat here. And what is if you're looking at the keys to victory in this map?
That camouflage up there is the key to victory. 90% of the time, if you get that camouflage, you're going to win the round, as we see one of the players trying to sneak up.
Virus. Hello. Oh, you can't see me, so I shoot you in the head. There we go. Virus picks up the first. Sorry, it is actually the kill coming in there from OneGaming, and Virus does actually pick up a kill with the SMG, so 4 versus 2 now. Walrus does answer back against Dark Messiah, taking him down. Stanza coming in there. Kills coming down left, right, and center from both teams here. Harper does get the kill on the Stanza as well, but it is the 2 versus 1. And let's see what Harper can do. Carve one out here for his team.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for him. Obviously, if you're Harper here, you need to try and stay alive as long as you can. And if you can potentially wait for that player's camo to run out, it gives you a much better chance of clutching this round. But it is going to be very difficult as he finds the camo player and he takes him out for the first round.
I like the Rift logo. I'm just going to put it out there. I think it's pretty good.
The Rift logo is pretty.
It's a Rift, isn't it? And it looks like a globe. Can we talk about Golden Boy's head right now? I don't know. But
I mean, it's a tenuous link, but yeah, Golden Boy does still have a massive head. Yeah,
well, there's no doubt. Anyway, on board with Harper once again, picking up that DMR straight off the bat. And it's one of them things where obviously you would assign that single player to pick up DMR, and he's just going to watch over Camo, got himself into a good position, shot's going to go down, he should be able to put some pressure on, these teams should be able to pick up that Camo with him providing this cover. Who's that running in the middle of nowhere? Big mistake, one true flash goes down, and it is now a 3 versus 2 in favor of Rift.
And it's just difficult here. I can't actually see if that camo was burnt initially. It's actually Sneaky Walrus who has that camo. He picks up the first kill for Rift. He's going to be looking across the map now, sees that player bottom mid, and that's going to be the last player alive for OneGaming. And it's a...
Oh.
That's what happens with the camo, and he's let him know about it.
Yeah, Sneaky Walrus is...
Oh, that little wink at the camera there. Did you see that? I mean, this guy's confident.
He's smooth
I like
character. Oh, wow. Anyway.
We've got to stay on board with him after that.
Yeah,
cheeky wink to the camera. I mean, you can't...
wink.
I mean, hopefully he backs it up with his gameplay now, because it'd be a bit embarrassing if he was
Funny if
taking
he
out
just gets
the
wiped out
round.
here, let's say. Anyway, on board with Sneaky Walrus, going to look towards that camo. Oh, and it actually... I don't... Anybody grabbed a hold of it? Big challenge coming in. Oh, the pop shot and the virus gets taken down. Stanza gets the kill onto him, but Harper is going to be able to try and do something about that. They're going to push in, and they are going to get control of this top area. Now, Stanza, is he going to make a move with that camo? Yes, he is. Activates it, just about gets away with his life, and the first time OneGaming are in a bit of an advantageous situation. 3 versus 2 for them now, and they're going to look try and close out this round. Yeah, and Stanza's the player. You probably want to have the camo in the hands off for OneGaming. He's been their strongest player for me at this event. As you see, he finds ads, but ads does a great job there to actually stay alive. Makes him work for the kill, but he's eventually taken down. And the last player alive looks like it will be Harper, who's about to be taken out eventually. And OneGaming look pretty strong in this breakout game. Yeah, I mean, they're around on the board again for them. And now it is 2-1 to OneGaming, so looking pretty good for them. Can they continue this trend, get more rounds on the board? See what Stanza can do to try and help his team do that.
I mean, he's been, as I keep saying, he's been the standout player for me. He's going to be pushing up this camo ramp with his teammates here. Does a good job of avoiding those nades that are coming in. It's such a standard opening strat here, but it pretty much highlights the importance of that camouflage for both of the teams. As his teammate comes in, one true flash, I believe that was. Both those kills going to be cleaned up. And hopefully they should be able to pick up the camouflage.
Oh, flank coming around though, and it's not going to work out for whoever's that coming around the back. Stanza turns around, not going to be able to land anything down. I just want to highlight how much I need to look at these nades that these guys are throwing over here. They seem to land at the right places at the right time, just to maybe zone people out from that camo more than anything, but all and go for the kill, because they are very easy to see. Mine absolutely suck every single time I play this. Anyway,
oh, you and me both.
Yeah,
you and me both.
Sneaky Walrus and his teammate left in a 2 versus 3.
And they look like they're moving this flag in now, I believe. But yeah, he's actually taken out, and his Vexus, I think, who's still around the map here. He's going to be the last player alive for Rift, and all of a sudden he's taken out as the flag is actually captured.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And this is not what I expected, to be completely honest with you, Ton. 3-1.
That was strange, because it seemed as if Rift pushed to the other side of the map, trying to get aggressive. And they got punished because they had nobody sort of sitting back and OneGaming. So, well, why don't we just capture this flag and win the game? So there you go. Fantastic work by OneGaming to think about doing that, because it's not something we see too often. Vexus putting shots down. I always find that quite hard to say. Stanza does pick up the kill onto Walrus. Walrus answers back with the kill onto Stanza. So the trade coming in. Virus comes in with the kill on the Vexus though. So now it's a 2 versus 3 in favor of OneGaming.
Yeah, and it just looks like that camouflage is still up, as Ads is going to be the player to move in for it here. He actually picks that up, and as we've always seen in the 2v2, it's now a 2v1 situation. And it's not looking very comfortable here for Dark Messiah. He knows that he doesn't have that camouflage. He knows he's going to be hunted down any moment now as he finds one of the players across match. So he has located one of the players at least, and if he can maybe pick up the kill on the camo player, he's taken down. That's going to be game over for that round. And that is now 3-2 in favor of OneGaming.
So OneGaming did have a 3-1 lead, but obviously it has now been closed out. Can Rift draw things up and try and get themselves a lead after that? On board with one true flash. Some flashy players yesterday, and he's played well from what I've seen. So what can he do to continue this on? He's had DMR in hand, and he's someone who is very good with that sniper rifle. Is he very good with the DMR? A couple of shots did go in there, but he just about survives it. Dark Messiah does get the first kill. Vexus trades that back on Stanza, so 3 versus 3. And it's really carnage up towards that camo, which is what we're seeing time and time again. And both teams are really trading backwards and forwards here very, very frequently. 2 versus 2 now. I'm looking up for Dark Messiah. Is he going to the SMG? Says he'll be able to get up close. He's going to try and move around. Very loud footsteps. Still more.
Big heavy Spartans in this game.
See if he can pick up this DMR and start putting some damage down. Both these teams very evenly poised at the moment. This is OneGaming with the lead, but what can Dark Messiah do here? He's getting himself into a position. That's not a great nade. Shot's going to go down. He's going to really put some pressure on there. Is he going to be able to use this camera to actually pick up the kill? SMG does come out. Should be able to pick this one up nice and easily. Dark Messiah comes there, gets a kill on Vexus, and Harbor's going to come around and just get taken out by Dark Messiah's teammate who was left alive there. And suddenly, OneGaming are 1 round away from walking away with the first map.
Yeah, really impressive. Dark Messiah's played with the camo there. He was nice and patient, didn't try and force the issue too much. Eventually got the trade with his teammate. There was a nice little pins on that player who was in the with the DMR player. But they picked up that kill there, and then they were managed to close out the round. And Stanza picks up the first one. It just seems like they have camo control for most of this game here at OneGaming. I'm really surprised.
Big nade as well. Walrus is going to get the kill on Dark Messiah. It's now a 2 versus 2. Switch on board. Sneaky Walrus picks up another with the SMG. It's 1 versus 1, and Rift really need this. Sneaky Walrus needing to go clutch. What can he do from this position? A minute and a half. He's going to catch him. He does have the camo. Is it going to work in his favor? Big gunfight. It's just about going to get away. Both these players. Decision are they going to make? Oh, the flag has been pulled. He's just trying to paint him out with that. And as well, so Sneaky Walrus really in a position to do something here. He just needs to take his time.
Looks like he has no idea where he is here.
Absolutely not. And Walrus just about misses the jump. Is he going to be able to make the kill eventually? Should be able to clean this up.
Walrus stays alive. Is he going to clean it
away? And wow, Walrus, Sneaky Walrus making it a little bit harder for himself than he needed to there, but does manage to get the round. And Rift are still in this now.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, he made that pretty hard work, that last kill there, but at least he didn't get too close where he could have potentially been beaten down and lost that round. But yeah, Sneaky Walrus definitely made hard work at that final kill there. It was made to work by OneGaming to close out that round, but I think they're just 1 round away, OneGaming here, and it's going to be all up to Rift to see if they can get back in this game.
No, they're going to get the first kill on the Stanza there. Do they have the control? Yes, they do. Oh, here comes Vexus. Is he going to be able to pick up the double? Yes, he is. Fantastic work by him. It's a 4 versus 1. Rift are coming clawing back into this game. Shots are going to be fired on the last guy for OneGaming. He's surely going to go down very, very quickly. Big shot's going to be sent over there. And it is One True Flash left all alone. He goes down, and we're going to the final round as these teams are tied up at 4-4.
And Vexus just decided that enough is enough here. I'm going to go up the top of the camo. I'm going to lock this down. Picked up a couple of kills up there and then used that camo so effectively. We're tied up 4-4, and all of a sudden, I don't know what way this is going to go from looking like it could be a OneGaming game to take away.
Man, it's got to hurt if you're OneGaming. As we said, Rift are probably the favorites going in. There's a lot of pressure being put down. Big grenade by Walrus. He picks up the double with that there now. And he's going to be able to just about get a hold of the camo. This spells trouble for OneGaming. It's now 4 versus 2. Walrus has been the catalyst for their comeback. Vexus gets the kill on the One True Flash. Last guy alive. For OneGaming needs to go big here. It is going to be Dark Messiah. What's he going to be able to do? Shots going to be fired away. He's not going to be able to do very much. Shots coming all from every side. And Rift Gaming take the first map in a dramatic fashion. They were so far behind, and it looked really, really good for Rift, for OneGaming, sorry. And Rift just come back. Crazy Walrus?
Crazy Walrus? The camo Walrus, I think most of that game.
I'm making up names now. Sneaky Walrus going massive for his team there. Couple of really big kills, the double nade as well in the last round. Fantastic work. Just have a quick look at the scoreboard at the end of that there.
And Walrus, as you say, man. He was the player. Yeah. He seemed to be getting control of the camo most of the time.
Give us a cheeky little wink. Yeah,
get us that wink, Walrus. I'm enjoying you, buddy. And that's 11 kills. I mean, that's pretty comprehensive in a breakout game. He was always the one up on that camo, though. I mean, Vexus seemed to always be the one who picked up an entry kill, but that big grenade in that last round there where we got the double and then using that camo effectively. But OneGaming are going to be absolutely gutted about that. That would be a big scout for them to go 1-up in that series.
It's really going to hurt because, I mean, we've said Rift probably look the stronger team. They should probably walk away with this probably 2-0. OneGaming, you're in the driving seat, man. 3-1 up. We're flying, boys. We got this. And unfortunately, it just completely crumbled and Rift really came back. I think it was more to the fact that Rift started to show up.
Yeah, definitely. They were getting those. They were getting those first picks quite a lot. Yeah. At the start of that series, it was always going to the hands of OneGaming that first kill, and they were able to capitalize. But as soon as they got camo control, the game changed.
That was it. So we are going to move on to the second map in just a second. But I mean, going off the back of that, when you're OneGaming, you've got all of that momentum after those first couple of rounds. You know, you're looking pretty good, 3-1 up, and then to lose it like that, it's a big dent to your confidence. Moving into this next map, I think it's going to be hard for them to sort of recoup. And I think there's been a rift put into their team.
You're full of puns today. I'm loving
honestly,
it. Tons of puns. I mean, you can use that if you want as well. If you want to go down that road, but
we need to stop.
Yeah, we do. We need to sort ourselves out. But yeah, I think you're right. As far as like losing a game like that and the confidence that drains out of you, when you go into a Slayer next, it's not like an objective game where you can take a little bit of time to maybe get a few kills, get a little bit of confidence back. Every single kill is so important. So it's not nice to go into a Slayer straight after a sort of a heartbreaking game like that. But they're going to have to come out strong at the start of this, because otherwise they could struggle.
They 100% need to, you're right. So, I mean, let's see if they can bring that. I mean, we've seen, you can't really judge it off Breakout, how they are working as a Slayer team. I suppose, well, you definitely can't full stop. But let's see what happens on this map. If they can bring it back, then maybe they can get the third in there as well. But at this moment in time, you've got to say Rift. I've got to be fair to take it a 2-0 series now.
Yeah, you would fancy Rift at this point, but it's going to be up to OneGaming to just try and lock down some of those overshields. If they can get a couple of overshields and get map control, get that shotgun, you really do never know on this map. It's quite a small enclosed map, so you've got the storm rifles available, you've got the shotgun, the overshield. If you can start controlling those sort of the automatics and the shotgun, you do have a chance.
Well, Empire Team Slayer is going to be on map. If OneGaming can get this one back, it is going to be Capture the Flag on Fathom, and I really want to see this map, so let's go OneGaming.
You're a OneGaming fan. You want to see this game to go through.
Is the map that they're going to win, and they're going to bring us to back to their proper top. Anyway,
well,
continuing into
tons
this.
of good OneGaming fan.
I want to see the third map, man. Come on.
We haven't seen it much this weekend so far, have we?
We haven't.
I mean, I love a third map at the moment because it's something exciting for us.
Yeah, I know. Just boiling down the last map. Clutch players coming up. Can RFT Gaming close this one out though? I think they might, unfortunately, for OneGaming. Let's see what they can do straight off the back.
And the overshield is going to be for bottom mid, and I think Stanza is actually out. This is a great start. They've managed to pick up the overshield. As I say, they've got control of the storm rifle as well, the automatic. The shotgun is there, though. That's going to be huge if he can take him out, and he does, and that's now going to be shotgun potentially in the control of OneGaming, and that's a great start for them, Ton.
Really good start. 3-1 to the good. And what was the tactic? I think who are you speaking to before about the tactic to use on this map?
Oh, Too Foxy.
Yeah.
Too Foxy is, I mean, to explain how Too Foxy explained this map, sorry to use explain twice there, is basically, if you've got the shotgun, you chill in tower. If you haven't got the shotgun, you chill outside. And then when overshield comes up, everyone just goes and has a party. Pretty much. Everyone just goes in. That wasn't his exact words. What were his exact words? It was a
party where you all kill each other. I do not ever want to be invited to all of these parties.
They're weird parties, especially with Too Foxy.
Very, very strange. On board with Stanza though, and the score is still in the hands of OneGaming. They are in the lead, but it only just a slender one, 4-3 for them. And a slow start from both teams here. Not really many kills going down. Different areas being controlled by both the teams, but not necessarily anything coming from it. Shotgun is in hand though with Stanza, and that could really be a big card in their hand. If they can try and get some kills down with that, try and get some momentum off the back of that. Ooh, he's really putting himself in a bad situation here. Walrus is going to come in there with a kill with the plasma cannon. All those grenades being fired out there. Just about managing to survive. It is going to be sneaky Walrus with a hold of that now. Ads does pick up the kill on one true flash, and we're going to tie game here at 5-5. With 10 minutes and a half remaining. Big shots there actually by Walrus. Just hitting them off the floor there. I can never actually kill anybody with that weapon because I am trash, but Sneaky Walrus really showing how it's done there.
Yeah, and that's kind of the counter to a player holding that shotgun in the tower. If you can get that plasma caster and just launch as many grenades in, bounce them off the walls, and just try and get a couple of hit markers and maybe a clean-up kill, then that's the way to sort of get that, flush that shotgun player out of the tower. But Sneaky Walrus has done a really good job in this series so far. It's another player that has impressed me a lot this weekend. I think he's been the strongest on his squad so far as he picks up another kill there. And then this is where you got to, I mean, for OneGaming, it's the experience thing now. When they've gone down in the game, you hope that they can sort of keep it close as the overshield has actually gone into the hands of Vexus, I believe.
Yeah, Rift have got it, and it is going to be Vexus. Is he going to be able to do anything with? There's a couple of guys lining up for him. Gets the first one on a one true flash, and it's now 11-7, looking pretty good. And then does blow up the barrels. He's going to look for another kill. He knows exactly where he is. Oh, he's going to get taken down as well. That's unfortunate. Does burn that overkill. Only managed that overshield, and only managed to get one kill from it.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you want, but when you have the lead, you know, you don't mind trading so much because you have that lead. You want to keep it out of the hands of your opponents and stop them getting a rally of kills together. But this is my man here, Stanza. I'm a big fan of his. I've really been impressed with him this weekend. And he's got that the beautiful little rainbow pistol skin that we've talked so much about this weekend. Taking on Walrus top mid, he's showing no fear, and he almost took him out there.
Yeah, and the Plasma Caster is available. Oh, and he just gets rushed. Vexus and Ads coming in there with plenty of kills. Ads picks up the double as well, so good work by him. And that score is extending now, 17-8 for Rift. And they are well and truly in the driving seat here.
Yeah, as you say, that you hope that OneGaming were able to try and keep that close as they could in the early exchanges, but it just seems as soon as they've lost control of the map, all of a sudden it's 18-8, and the Rift guys are just really turning it on. As we say, maybe we didn't learn so as much there from the breakout game, as Ads almost picks up a nice double kill there. but Walrus actually helps them out on the turbine area, and they're able to just extend this lead, and all of a sudden it's 21-9.
Man, Ad's just hitting every single shot with that BR at the moment. Let's see what he can do as things go on. 21-9, as said, and it was a really slow start, and he's got a couple of guys in front of him. He really needs to get away because Walrus has managed to pick up the kill there, but he's heavily damaged, absolutely a slither of health left. Does manage to survive that, but yeah, it was a slow start by both teams, and OneGaming took a lead once again.
Cyan is taken out by
such
Ads.
big shots by Ads there, literally nailing every single one and everyone's heads. Double kill for him, and great work by Rift Gaming. They wait that as a team. They pushed in there, made the kills around the back. Ads just came and cleaned up. Good work by him. Plasma Cannon still available. Nobody really wanting to use it at this moment in time. Do you think there's a theory behind that?
I think they're concentrating on the overshield, which is going to be popping in a minute. But I've got to point out they picked up the wingman mirror. Stanza actually picks up the overshield. We're going to have to jump on board with him, but it was a great run from Ads we just watched as he's finally taken out by Stanza. He actually picked up the wingman medal, showing that he's racking up a load of assists as well as a load of kills. But this is the opportunity that OneGaming need here. If they can start using this overshield, rack up a couple of kills without reply, then this could be an opportunity for them to get back into the game as he catches Ads off guard, and he's just putting that Storm Rifle to work at the moment.
Oh, the Storm Rifle's really worked out well for him. It does take down Walrus as well, so Stanza on a bit of a tear here. They're trying to get back in the game. It's only a 10-kill game. Not out of the question now for OneGaming to bring this one back, and Vexus should go down. He's in the middle of nowhere, and he does eventually. Virus takes him down. Storm Rifle whip back out again. Stanza should be able to pick this one up. He doesn't need to. One True Flash has that shotgun, and that's going to be causing problems for Rift Gaming. His Stanza's going to be able to pick him up. Not quite get the turn. The Walrus coming in there with plenty of assault rifle bullets does take him down, and the lead is still only 10. Walrus, can he extend that? Yes, he can. Shotgun gets whipped out after a couple of quick pistol shots to the head. So good work by him to utilize the weapons he has available. And at this moment in time, it looked like a comeback might have been a little bit on the cards by OneGaming, but Rift really stepping it up again there.
Yeah, all it took for them was to shut down that little run from Stanza there. A shotgun went back into the control of Rift, and this, literally when you have this shotgun in the tower, it's so difficult to flush this player out. I mean, the range of this thing is, in comparison to other Halos, pretty extreme. I mean, you can pretty much wreck anyone who comes into this tower area. As he sees one of the player there, one shot there, takes him down. Stanza trying to get his weapon back, but Sneaky Roars, not being such a sneaky beav there, but just waited for him to come around the corner and just blew his brains out.
Well, on board with Sneaky Walrus,
Nice
managed to
shot
pick
there
that
for
shot
killing
there.
spree.
Yeah, killing spree for him. And good work by just holding this down. He hasn't really had much help from his teammates at this moment in time. I don't think he needs it. That lead has extended. Good shots going in there as well, landing another hit mark, and he's really accurate with his pistol. But he's been put under a little bit of pressure. Lots of grenades coming in there, and he's saying, "Go on, I dare you to come into my tower. I've still got some shotgun bullets left," but he actually does. Virus takes him out with that AR. Overshield does come up, and that's really big by Dark Messiah. He didn't manage to get a hold of the overshield there, as it has been picked up by somebody, I believe.
I think that might have actually been burnt there by the player that he just managed to take out, but we've got to stay on board with Ads here because he had a great run last time we were looking at him, really put the Storm Rifle to use, and we're pretty close to seeing this game possibly closed out for Rift Gaming. They just seem to have had control of the key moments in this. Two players who seem to have gone off at different points were Ads on that little run we saw with the Storm Rifle, but also Walrus. He was doing a great job using that shotgun really effectively in the tower.
Yeah, and as you can see, quick flash of scoreboard there, and he was top for Rift Gaming, so looking good for them, but it seems as if it is being a team effort. Vexus does get the kill onto AG Virus. I've seen the Storm Rifle being utilized so well. Everyone seems to get a hold of it, and if they do, they absolutely rip faces with it. It's a fantastic weapon for the teams to try and use. Ads does get the kill on Dark Messiah, and Stance is going to come in there with a double kill as well, trying to get his team back into this. One True Flash with a kill on the Walrus as well.
Everyone's dying, the curse of the caster.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately for them. But at the same time, Rift are looking pretty comfortable. They're only 7 kills away from victory.
Yeah, and Harper's a player who's been solid all weekend. And Vexus picks up another kill there. He's just going to try and sneak into this tower area. I think he's aware that there might be a shotgun player around. Hopefully his teammates are able to communicate effectively with him to let him know if there is. But he snuck his way through there, didn't find anyone. But he does see someone pop up on his radar there, which he's going to be very aware of because he potentially does have that short range, destructive weapon as he walks around the corner, and One True Flash just absolutely destroys him.
There's absolutely, I say there's no route back in, but there's a few.
It's a bit of a comeback here.
Yeah, there's a few kills being absolutely unanswered by Rift here. So can OneGaming continue this trend? They've got their shotgun. Not a lot of shells left in it, albeit, but at the same time, Rift can sit back. They can dictate the pace of this game as much as they want. The Plasma Caster is available. They do have players around that area as well. They can grab a hold of that and say, right, boys, you need the kills. You're going to have to come to West. But shots being fired. One True Flash is in a lot of trouble. It does have the shotgun. Turns around. Not going to happen for him. Vexus gets the kill. Dark Messiah does clean that up. but that means Rift are walking closer to victory. Only 3 kills away there for them now, and lots of kills going to come in here. Is Virus going to be able to do anything? No, Ads does take him down with the BR. 2 kills remaining for Rift. It's looking pretty good for them at this moment in time.
And Harper's got the overshield here. He just managed to pick that up, so it's going to be even more difficult for OneGaming here. Harper's going to be really aggressive. He has the Storm Rifle, creeps up on One True Flash, finishes off that kill, and it's just one more kill to go. Looks like Vexus is in a battle at the moment in the red base. As you can see, all the players converging, and that's going to be game over. 2-0 ton, pretty conclusive from Rift Gaming.
Yeah, you know, they look really, really strong in that Slayer. The breakout was pretty close. It was damn close in the end there, but I mean, they just really asserted their dominance in that very final round after being down most of the game. But moving into the Slayer, they look really, really strong.
They did. They picked up a lot of the overshields there, but it just seemed to be those clutch moments. We saw Ads go off at one point. He picked up a wingman medal showing that all of his kills that were being started were being finished, and then we saw Walrus with that shotgun, man. He wasn't being sneaky at all. I mean, he was just being blunt. He was just holding that tower down.
He was a very obnoxious Walrus.
He was an enormous, obnoxious Walrus. He just, every time someone walks around that corner, he was just saying, hey, I got a shotgun. See you later. You're in death screen for another 5 seconds.
But yeah, Rift played that really, really well there. As said, the breakout was pretty close. I'm sure the guys on the desk will delve more into that. But, you know, coming in that Slayer, for OneGaming, it's going to be a punch in the face when you lose the breakout just like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then moving into the Slayer, it didn't start too badly for them, but neither did the first map, and it ended very badly for them, unfortunately.
Yeah,
you know, Rift really opened things up.
I think it's just the experience thing, isn't it? As soon as you go down a few kills, all of a sudden your teamwork can fall apart. If you're not a very experienced team, you start to doubt. Sometimes you start to doubt your teammates. You start to do things you wouldn't normally do at the start of games, and all of a sudden, before you know it, there's a big gap lead. And then from there, it's so difficult to claw back, especially on a map that we've just seen, because you know, there's power weapons, there's overshields to be had, and it's so close quarters that when you've got storm rifles and shotguns walking around, it's very difficult to just claw back that big lead that's established.
It's not so much a heavy power weapon map, though, is it?
No, it's not power weapons.
There's not just so many, but
it's the automatics. Yeah. It's the automatics that are so effective. The storm rifles, as we saw, I mean, people were going on tears with it. It's a shotgun, and it's just about controlling. They're almost like semi-power weapons. Yeah. Because if you can control those, then you can control areas of the map. So they did a great job of doing that, and I think Rift definitely deserved that win.
Okay, well, that was fantastic work by Rift. Let's see if the guys on the desk can break that one down further.
All right, thank you very much. That was pretty... I enjoyed that game. I did enjoy that game. It was a little bit back and forth at points. All right, let's get your first impressions on how that all went down.
I'd like to say Walrus was just definitely the MVP of the series. Really held it down for both game types, putting up huge numbers in Breakout and putting up huge numbers in Empire Team Slayer. Yeah,
I thought the first game actually was really close as well. A lot closer than a lot of people expected, but OneGaming, they had like a 4-2 lead, and they kind of just threw it away, and they lost the game 5-4. And at that point, I feel like the series was lost for them. They went into game 2. They knew they threw away a huge lead in game 1, and it's hard to come back from those kind of scenarios. And I think that showed in game number 2, and you know, it all kind of fell apart. But they impressed me actually. There were some plays on from Stanza, especially, who, by the way, I pointed out before the series.
Didn't you also point out every player, pretty much?
On the Rift side, I did, but. In fact, yeah, everyone in the game, I'm pretty sure, actually. I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to make some friends, okay, Pricey? I'm trying to make some friends.
All right, so we were talking about that game before it kind of came on here. Did you see anything good enough to kind of progress through this and maybe take on some of the bigger teams? Do you think any of these teams have kind of the chops to qualify?
Well, what's interesting about Rift is the fact that, again, they've made it out of groups. They made it out of groups, right? And Walrus yesterday, it'll be interesting to see in this interview if they interview Walrus again, who by the way, went off in that series. He said in yesterday's interview, hey, we want to be up with those top 4, top 3 teams. They now play against one of those top 4 teams.
Yes.
Because they finished second in their group, so they'll be going up against a group winner. So again, it's another test for Rift. They get another bite at the cherry. You know, we'll be seeing if they can make amends for today's performance.
All right, well, do you think they can go toe-to-toe then? Now they've got the opportunity. All that talk, but can they walk the walk?
They need to go back to the hotel tonight and watch, find out which team they're playing and watch a rebroadcast, try and pick up some things, see if they can exploit a weakness from the top 4 teams. I think shot-wise, yeah, maybe they could keep up. But from that performance there, I don't think I saw enough. Sorry, guys.
All right, fair enough. Well, we've spoken enough about one man already, so let's find out from his own lips. Josh with Sneaky Walrus.
Cheers, Bryce. I guess on Breakout, too close for comfort, but your nade made a difference at the end.
All I heard was there was like 2 guys at a ramp, and I was just like, all right, cool. Threw the nade, and I managed to get the. I wouldn't say pretty lucky double kill, but it was just a good response for a call, I suppose.
Don't put yourself down, mate. On I guess winning that close, even though obviously it can be uncomfortable, it's also satisfying and motivation as well, obviously, for the next map.
Aye, definitely. I mean, breakouts, it's not necessarily random, but it does feel like that at times. It's no probably our most comfortable game type, I'd say, but hey, we won.
When you're on the reverse, when you lose by a kill or by a point and break, on breakout, how do you pick the team back up again?
Just get them hyped, get them on a momentum, and then as soon as we start to get 1-deed, 2-deed, Oya's really picked our game up.
Let's talk about the TS. You were roaming around the fringes with the shotgun and a storm rifle, breaking some hearts. I'm just power weapon control. I mean, the storm rifle in itself is basically a power weapon now. Just got to time that and keep control of it. So 2 out of 2, feeling confident?
Definitely, just see what happens, and we'll watch some gameplays tonight and try and learn from it. And
you had a shout out?
I do, for my sister Morgan. She should be studying for her exams and not watching this.
All right. Well, cheers, Tiki Walrus. Brycey, back to you.
Thank you very much for that. I think
go and study,
mildly
Morgan.
chuffed
Come on,
is the way
Morgan.
I would describe that interview. Mildly chuffed.
Morgan needs to go and study, okay? Exams are important. You need good grades. Come on. Go and study.
No one's going to listen to you.
No.
Anyway, let's get into this game
I'm
map
sorry,
by
Lawrence,
map.
I tried.
Let's jump into map 1 now on altitude.
Just quickly before we start, I want to give a shout out to Walrus as well, the wink. The Walrus wink.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
You knew he was just having a good time.
He was loving life. You know,
was
whenever he
feeling
made a big
comfortable.
play, he was just, he looked over the play and he was like, that was me.
Yeah. So actually, so Breakout, it was actually on Gamble, but it was
Sorry, my bad.
definitely a great match between the two teams. And you saw earlier, Epsilon and Riot, they had a close match. Epsilon almost lost, but they were able to clutch it in the end. And that was kind of like the same exact thing that happened with Rift and OneGaming. Rift just came through at the end, but it wasn't looking good for them at the start. Walrus ended up starting to pick up the camos more often and more often. And like I said, Walrus had some big numbers at the end, and he had, I think it was a 1 versus 2 that he ended up clutching it and finishing it off 1v1. But yeah, he really took advantage of the camo, and as a squad, they were working together really well. You could tell, especially just from watching Walrus's point of view, he was able to quickly locate and listen to his teammates. He was quickly reacting to their call-outs. His screen's moving fast. He must play on like a 5 or 6 sensitivity, which
that
is...
man was twitching around.
Yeah.
He got me nervous.
Yeah, which is a great thing to have that speed to move and quickly locate. But having a player like that on your team who's listening to your call-outs, reacting quick, I think that could take them up to the next level. But they're going to have to keep that up with all of the players. It can't just be Walrus standing out above the rest of the players. If they want to compete with those top 4 teams, because they're right outside of the bubble, they're going to have to keep up that type of teamwork and that type of reaction speed.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just want to give a shout out. The graphic on the screen at the moment, you're not going crazy. It wasn't actually altitude. It was Gamble, and then I think was it Empire we saw game 2. So don't worry, you're not going crazy. Look at those fits. Come on, production. God.
Do you have anything else to add on kind of that first map then, and kind of add to what Strongside talked about?
No, I think Mike pretty much summed it up perfectly. Walrus just pretty much was the standout for Rift. He dragged his team. They were 4-2 down. And he pretty much just lifted his team. He got them back into the game and was able to close out the map, which was a great comeback. 4-2 down, you're facing defeat for 3 straight rounds. It's hard to come back, and somehow Rift made it happen. And I think it was a large amount due to Sneaky Walrus's performance.
OneGaming did have a spectacular play early in the rounds.
Yeah.
Rift had flanked 2 players around to the other side of the map, and while they were doing that, OneGaming picked up the flag and just ran it in uncontested. It was like they knew since they were flanking, they must have saw them, not even put any shots on them.
Yeah.
Just let them go. It doesn't even matter. They don't even need to kill them. They just picked up the flag, ran it over. And
Takes a lot of
pulled home the
confidence to
W.
make that kind of play as well. I mean,
Yeah.
considering the risk you're taking, that if it goes wrong, you could be men down, and then all of a sudden, like, your clever tactic is completely backfired, and we'll be sitting up here going, that's an awful play. Why on earth did you do that? But all right, that kind of nicely sums up map number 1. Then let's move on to map number 2. We'll start this actually time. Wonderboy, lead the way.
Yeah, so on map number 2, it was a pretty much same kind of affair. We saw Rift controlling the overshield. They did a great job. Whenever they needed to get the overshield, they kind of just went to the outside area and went the safe route, grabbed the overshield. Yeah, and it was pretty simple from there. I think Onset actually pulled out a quote from 2Foxy, who I was sat next to during that game. And he said, you know, if you've got the shotgun, you know, you're chilling in the tower, and, you know, if you don't, then you're outside, and you know, when the overshield comes up, we're all going to go into the pit, and we're all going to have a big boogie and, you know, have a good dance off there trying to get the overshield. I think that's pretty much how it happened. Pretty much.
That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah, right.
Rift, I think, got every single overshield except for one. Every single one. And that's a huge swing of kills right there. I mean, if you're not getting any of these overshields, your team's already put at a huge disadvantage. And then, like you said, Rift was just going back and forth. I felt like they were in the center of the map the entire time. And just they kept OneGaming spawning at base and base, and they just keep pushing back and forth. And OneGaming wasn't able to get out of the base. Every time they'd try and push out Turbine, they'd get picked off. Every time they'd try and push out the front window, they'd get picked off. And then they'd have a guy with shotgun and security. I think it was Walrus, just camped up, ready to go, and they couldn't push out of either base. So Rift did a great job at containing OneGaming inside the bases.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Again, we saw OneGaming prioritizing the shotgun over the overshield, whether that was an oversight on their part or whether it was a tactic that they had coming in. You know, they had a lot of shotgun control, but again, if you don't make a play for those overshields, you're not going to win the game. You know, that overshield's so strong, and you can make some plays with it.
Do you think it was a case of them trying to use that shotgun to kind of leverage control for the overshield? Or do you think that was a genuine tactic going in, that they were going to kind of prioritize the shotgun rather than the overshield?
I think it's, you know, a question you'd have to ask OneGaming. You know, who knows? I mean, the thing is, it's hard to grab the overshield from the tower. And if you have the shotgun, like Onset said, you kind of want to be in the tower. So it didn't really make any sense to try and grab the overshield from the tower, if that makes sense. You want to be outside, and you want to, you know, be able to go the safe route rather than have to, you know, go through all these windy little pillars to get to the overshield down there in bottom middle.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, thank you kind of so much for kind of breaking that one down. Any final words on how you think it went?
A solid performance from Rift. They made it out of the group, which is great for them. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Some good showing from OneGaming. Unfortunate that they had to leave us at this stage. But we saw some great plays from players like Stanza. So hopefully we see some more from them in the future.
Pretty much the same thing. I'd like to see a lot more from Walrus. Definitely that confidence.
Well, fortunately he won that, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you see that wink into the camera, and just seeing that confidence. It's good to see that in a player, and I hope to see a lot more from him and his team.
Well, fortunately, they have made it through into the bracket, so we will be seeing them tomorrow. But coming up next, Hyped Gaming versus Vaperio Esports. And that'll be coming up right after this.